glad you're here. Before we begin today's interview, which is a good one, I want to remind you of an important lesson from my last interview. Call your office. That's right, I'm encouraging you, your friends, your family members, to call your office as though they were prospective clients. Then ask them how the experience was. Was your staff empathetic? Was your staff caring? Did they ask the right qualifying questions? Did they promptly transfer a high-value fact pattern directly to you? If your mystery caller completed a form, how quickly were they called back? How many attempts were made to reach them? If your mystery caller dialed after business hours, how did your answering service perform? Did they quickly employ the right qualifying questions to keep their time on the call to the minimum necessary? If you haven't checked up on your intake both during and after office hours, it's likely that you're losing clients you could have signed. Without monitoring, whether with mystery calls or listening to recorded calls, your staff and answering service are probably underperforming. You know, if you don't have time for this monitoring work, know that intake is one of the many aspects of your marketing that will be improved with our new fractional CMO service. I just wanted to tell you about it briefly. We employ an advisory team of full-time legal marketing professionals to review your marketing efforts and make recommendations. Then, after you and I agree on the recommendations to implement, my team handles the work. We're not putting the work on your plate. I personally report our progress to you monthly, and we, of course, adjust as needed. Our fractional CMO costs just $29.50 a month. You're not charged until you receive our improvement plan, which is extremely comprehensive. It contains the experts' recommendations. You work one-on-one with me throughout the process. You can actually cancel anytime. You keep all the custom work we did for you. To learn more, make an appointment with me. I'd love to chat. I'll drop my direct scheduler link in the chat now. Turning to today's session, my interview is with a family law associate attorney who has over 3 years grown her TikTok following to nearly 500,000. Her approach there is a mix of family-oriented videos and really common sense divorce education videos, which generate a steady flow of paid consultations for her. Let's go, let's get started. Okay, let's get to it like we always do. Today, our special guest is attorney Calina Plotky. Calina is a family law attorney in Georgia. She has nearly 500,000 followers on TikTok. We're excited to have her here today. Welcome, Calina. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So to start, before we kind of dive into all the social media, because I'm really excited to dive in there, tell us a little bit about your story, your background, and kind of your journey as an attorney.
Yeah, gosh, I graduated law school in 2012, which seems like yesterday, but is over 10, 11 years ago. I had my first child in college, so then went straight into law school. And just jumped into a struggling attorney market right out of law school in 2012, and started working personal injury and workers' comp, catastrophic stuff, and learned really the basics, how to write a complaint, how to write an answer, all that stuff that seems to be overlooked in law school almost. And then I enjoyed the work. I was about 5 years in and realized I liked it, but I didn't love that area of law. So, I thought 5 years in, I better switch it up, find which area of law I really love and which area of law is my calling, before I get stuck in a niche market. So I jumped over to family law and found out that this is where I'm meant to be. I think family law is more about, when we talk about counselors, attorneys at law, counselor, those sorts of things. I think in family law, we're more counselors than any other area of law. And I really enjoy it. I had to go through the system with my daughter when I was 17, and then I had my own divorce later on in life. So I've seen it from every aspect. My parents are divorced, so I saw it as a child of divorce. I went through it with my daughter and my subsequent divorce, and then now I'm an attorney with all the knowledge that arms me with. So I am able to empathize with my clients and really feel it from their side.
Yeah, I mean, very, very cool that you were able to really find that fit. You went through, you were practicing in a very different area of practice, and you were able to really kind of find that the personality fit, the professional fit. That's really cool. So you are an associate attorney at the firm that you're with now, is that correct?
Yeah, correct. If you ask my managing partner, I have to put senior in front of it because she gets angry if I don't put senior, which I am completely fine with associate attorney. Once you get to the managing partner level, it's nice you get the prestige, but you also have to deal with running the business of the law firm, which is
Sure.
billing, invoicing, all that stuff that I just enjoy the practice of law so much that I would rather be in the courtroom and practicing law.
Well, you're also an incredible personal brander. You're also an incredible marketer. So we will talk about that. And so tell us, Kalina, are you responsible for bringing in your own cases and generating your own leads within the law firm?
So I'm not, it didn't start out, no, I'm not responsible for bringing in my own clients or bringing in my own leads. My firm furnishes those. They have their own marketing through traditional marketing like Avo, all those sorts of things. So no, I'm not actually responsible for bringing in my own leads.
But you are now, it sounds like,
But
right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that. You are super active on social media. You're at GA Lawyer on TikTok, which what a great handle. You have 475,000 followers, 21.4 million likes. Is social media a sizable lead driver for you at this point?
Yes, absolutely. Especially since with traditional marketing as attorneys, we try to target a certain location. Like I'm in Atlanta, so it's mainly targeted towards Metro Atlanta, our marketing and things like that. But with TikTok, I'm barred in Georgia, so I'm able to practice all over the state. And so with TikTok, people that didn't have access to maybe finding a good family law attorney that specialized in family law now have access to that and are able to find me. I'm going to court in a courthouse I didn't even know it was a county of Georgia tomorrow, and it's 2 hours away. I don't mind driving, and I love being able to provide that knowledge and the work to more of the rural counties in Georgia.
Ah, excellent point. Excellent point. So, what would you say? Let's quantify it a little bit. How many leads or how many clients are coming through social media on either a weekly or monthly basis?
So I I I mean she's 6 months old now, so I recently had a baby. So I kind of slowed up on my social media. I'd say prior to having a baby, I was probably getting 2 or 3 new clients a month, just from social media.
That's great. That's great. Tell us about your start on social media. How did you get into it initially? Which platform did you start on?
So I started on TikTok, and she was 12 at the time. She's now 15. I had a 12-year-old. And so the rule in my house is when you get a certain type of social media, mom has to get that social media to kind of verify and everything. And so one day she came home and she said, Mom, I've got this brilliant idea. And I said, okay, let me hear it. And she said, I'm going to make us both famous and rich. Perfect. And so she said, there's only one other lawyer on TikTok. At the time, it was the lawyer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and he
We
at the
just
time,
talked to him. We just talked to him on this show. Yeah.
yeah, great guy, great
Yeah.
guy. I love
Yeah.
him. And he has 1 million followers. So you get on and people will, see you as a famous attorney, and then I'll get famous because I'm your daughter, and then we've got it made. And I said, perfect. So
Oh, it was your 12-year-old daughter's idea to get on TikTok, and now you have almost 500,000 followers. That's really cool. That's really cool.
yeah,
What did those early videos look, or what year was that? You said, was it about, did you say
it
3 years
was
ago, or
it
was
was
it?
2019. It was before lockdown. It was before COVID. All that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So what did those early videos look like? What were you talking about early on? And when did you see follower growth really ramp up?
So, I mean, the beginning videos were kind of like a more family centered, but also um kind of behind the scenes of being a lawyer, what I do in a day, because I certainly didn't have access to that knowledge prior to becoming a lawyer. And most people don't know, it's not like the TV. We're not in court every single day. And so it was more of those types of videos. And then I started making videos that of things that I honestly thought were common sense.
Hmm.
So, to when you have a difficult co-parent and you guys agree to something, I thought it was common sense you would follow that up with a writing, email, text message, so that we have that in court later on. But what I was finding, especially with my clients and even people on TikTok, that wasn't common sense. And we take a lot for granted when we work in a certain area that things are common sense.
Yep.
And so I was like, well, there are a bunch of tips to help people, just in case they are ever in the situation that they end up in court.
So it was sort of those everyday tips that started to really resonate. And did you just slowly, kind of incrementally see follower growth increase, or did you have a video or a couple videos go viral?
I mean, I've had several videos go viral, but I always feel like it's incremental. I mean, I don't think I woke up one day and got 50,000 new followers. I think it was, 10,000 followers here, 10,000 followers there. I've had a lot of videos that have gone viral, and it's just incremental growth, honestly.
Can you think of any of the topics that went viral specifically? Any of the more popular videos?
One of the ones that went viral was talking about how I got pregnant with my daughter at 20. Everybody expected me to fail, and she was just a driving force in succeeding and becoming an attorney. So
It's the relatable content, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah, that's great. That's really cool. What about other platforms? I mean, I know you're on Instagram. When did you decide to move to other platforms? How are other platforms performing outside of TikTok?
So yeah, I have an Instagram. I also have a Facebook. I'm really not as active on that. I mean, TikTok works for me because it's a format that kind of works for my attention span, how much time I have during the day. It's very easy to edit everything in the app. And I always thought, of myself as better in video than in a picture anyway. So I always leaned more into video than photographs. So I'm not as active on Instagram and things like that. I think especially if you're trying to use it as a marketing force and you don't have a third party running your marketing, you have to lean into the platform you enjoy.
Mm, good point. Good point. Platform you enjoy, platform you're most comfortable with, and where your potential clients are hanging out, right?
Right.
So, take me through your current process. Where do you find inspiration for new video topics?
So I watch I watch TikToks quite a bit. And then, it's watching TikToks and seeing videos that people post online that you're like, wow, that can be used in court against you. I've had several viral videos of that where I just say, this is how I would use this in court to, show the judge that you're being a bad co-parent, or that your spouse should get alimony because here you are toting that you completely support the other person. So that's going to be exhibit A for my alimony argument. Um, and then when things just pop up in my everyday, the common sense thing that I'm talking about, that a client might say, oh, I didn't know that, and I'm like, you know what, I need to make a TikTok video about this because I thought everybody knew this.
Smart, smart. Are you shooting videos in batches? How often are you shooting?
So probably the last 2 months have been really busy, so I have not shot very much in the past 2 months. I try to shoot in batches just because it's better for the algorithm not to miss time or miss a day. And let's face it, there's a day where you may want to record, an hour, 2 hours of content, and the next week you're too busy or you just don't feel like being in front of the camera. So I definitely suggest batch filming just because you just never know what's going to come up.
Right. So when you are, kind of fully engaged with social media, you're pretty much posting every day, it sounds like.
Yeah, sometimes I usually take the weekends off, but I try to post every single day.
Yeah.
I find that a lot of my followers kind of are there just to see what's up. They would like to see an everyday video, even if, it seems like nothing to us.
Yeah. Yeah. How much time would you say per week you spend on social media? I mean, not just the shooting, but the posting, the engaging, the comments, all of it.
Probably, I'd say at least 20 hours, maybe more. I mean, you have to think about most law firms and most people have entire teams that run these types of social medias. So for one person to do it, you have to devote quite a bit of time. It's not something it's a labor of love. It's not something you can just casually do.
And it sounds like you are doing everything, right? I mean, you're shooting. Are you shooting on your smartphone? It sounds like,
Yeah.
or yeah,
Yeah,
you're shooting on your
yeah.
phone. You're editing, you're posting, you're doing all of it.
Yep.
Yeah, topic creation, all of it. Yeah, yeah. So 20 hours per week, that is, a hefty investment. But why is it worth your time? I know that you're generating some clients, obviously, but overall, why do you think that it's a good idea, a good time investment?
Well, I mean, of course, the generating clients, that's great. But also, like I was saying, I'm able to get information to some of and access to specialized legal knowledge to some of these rural counties that don't have it otherwise. Some people don't even, sometimes it's hard to figure out what search terms you need to figure something out, or a video might pop up and I mean, the TikTok algorithm is pretty scary good on, presenting you with content that you like and that you may need. And so I pop up on a lot of people's pages that may not have even been thinking about it or just starting to think about the court process, and my videos talk about how to prepare for it, what you need to start the process, and what to prepare for.
You're becoming that trusted legal advisor for so many.
Yeah.
I'm curious, are any other attorneys in the firm active on social media?
They are not. They they will do videos if I beg, or if I have a couple that'll say, I don't want to be on camera, or I don't want to speak. So every once in a while, there are some videos on my profile where I've got the whole firm in some, and those do really well. But it's not a labor of love for them, so I can get them involved, but they'd rather not.
Well, they have to be super impressed with what you've built, I assume. Yeah,
Yeah, they
yeah,
are for
yeah,
sure.
yeah, that's cool. Are you putting any money into boosting any of your social media posts, or is it all organic?
It's all organic. I think I got like a promotion from TikTok once to boost a post, and I tried it out. And what I found was there was kind of some backlash from followers, like, why does this say, because it says like sponsored post, or I forget what it said at the time. I think it was sponsored post back then. And so, when you put a video, especially as an attorney, there's already combating that back of the mind thought of, oh, they're just doing it for money, they're out here. And so I think it breaks some of that trust. And I want people to be able to trust me, because I don't want them to act in counter to their own interests.
I think that's also consistent with the type of content that you're putting out there too, right? You're not shouting from the rooftops, hire me now, right? These aren't TV commercials. These are very educational, highly valuable, everyday, law videos that are really resonating. TikTok, Instagram too, but they're obviously national platforms. Are you receiving leads, out of state leads that you are referring? How do you handle those out of state leads that come through?
So every once in a while we do get out of state leads, and if I know of someone that may be able to help, then I send the information. Of course, I don't endorse anyone else because I haven't used them. I don't know their work. But the good thing about TikTok as well is it's now that more lawyers are on there, it's created somewhat of a network. So it is nice to be able to kind of point people in the right direction. I have people from all over the country that just do consultations to talk about like best practices and some of that common sense stuff that is that you should be doing in all cases.
Yep. How are the leads actually coming through TikTok? Meaning, are they messaging you? Are they calling you? How is that? What does the intake look like?
So I have a link on my profile where you can click on it and you can go ahead and set up a Zoom consultation. All my consultations are paid, but they're a discounted rate on TikTok. And so most people just go ahead and click through that link and set up a Zoom, and it's as easy as that.
The do it yourself, that's smart, and have that scheduler link, have that calendar open. Are most of the appointments quality? Are you getting kind of unqualified appointments through there?
No, not really. I think that probably requiring, the paid consultation route that keeps it from being the people that just kind of want to talk and just want to meet me, I guess.
Yeah, so tell us about the paid consult. Is it tell us about how you have it structured, and is there any kind of like pre-questionnaire or form that is that they go
Yes, there's
through?
a questionnaire as to, what the case is, what county it's in. We make sure, of course, it's in Georgia and everything like that. And then you can do it half an hour, which I believe is at 150, and an hour consultation, which is at 300, which my hourly rate is now 400. So it's discounted. And so it can be in Zoom or in person. I have most people select the Zoom, especially my rural clients that want to
Yeah.
go ahead and move forward. And that's kind of how it's been working, and it's been doing well. I mean, I find especially like millennials, Gen Zs, we really don't want to call and talk to somebody. We'd
Right.
rather just make the appointment and jump on with the person making the decision, the person we want to talk to, as soon as possible.
Yeah, removing those barriers. I mean, it makes so much sense, definitely. And you are, I'm just looking at the form now. Yeah, so, oh yeah, that's great. Yes, you make it super easy. Yeah, it's just your scheduler link right there. Yeah, that's really great. Are you spending any other money for marketing your own, like your own services, or is it pretty much, it sounds like, just organic on your end?
Yep, I've just been doing it organic so far.
Are you using AI in the practice at all, either for marketing or daily work?
Nope, not yet.
Curious. Any other tools or software, anything that you would recommend, either from a social media perspective or just in general, that attorneys might find helpful?
No, not really. I mean, I'd probably cut down on the time I devote to it if I used some of those programs, but I do all the editing, all the shooting, everything myself. And then when it comes to my attorney work, I mean, my firm has a billing software, but other than that, we're drafting, everything we have. So,
Yeah. What would you say biggest mistakes or maybe lessons learned from growing on social media?
your hate and being decisive is going to make you grow faster, no matter what. If you want to grow and grow quickly, being decisive and taking those hard stances is probably going to be your number one way to grow faster. And I refuse. I'm good. But you're going to get hate no matter what. I mean, there's going to be people that hate me. I've gotten hate for being an attorney, just being an attorney, right? And people have a bad taste in their mouth when they hear and see an attorney. And so I would just, I mean, mistakes are probably trying to engage with those people in conversation. Conversation just doesn't work. Those, you block those people if you want, or just let them lie and they run out their own steam.
Yep, great advice. Were you instantly comfortable in front of the camera? Did it take some time?
I think it took some time. I go back to like my older first videos, and I feel like, man, I was really awkward in front of the camera.
I feel like that often as well. I'll look at some of my early videos and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I thought I was doing okay, but whoa, like it is awkward. Yeah. Yeah. But the more you do it, right? I mean, you just, because I hear that from a lot of attorneys. Well, I'm uncomfortable. I can, speak all day directly to my clients and in court, but when the camera turns on, it's a whole different thing. But you just have to do it, right? I mean, do you feel the same way?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You just got to keep doing it. I mean, there's no better way to learn and get better at it than just doing it.
Yeah, and it doesn't always have to be perfect either. Sometimes actually it's more authentic, more genuine when it's not this perfectly polished, rehearsed, high production value video. It's more, kind of conversational and speaking, speaking off the cuff, and also obviously providing that value and the information that people care about, right?
Right, absolutely.
So, Kalina, before we wrap up, I always like to ask if a lawyer watching only has time to adopt one, maybe two of your tips, what would you recommend?
I mean, I would say find, if you're not going to hire a social media person to run your social media, find the platform that you like the best and that works for you the best. Because that's going to be the one that you keep up with, that you keep doing. And I just have fun with it. And I mean,
Yeah, that's great. Were you kind of trying to juggle multiple platforms for some time and you kind of realized that you just wanted to narrow down? Is that kind of how you came about that?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I was trying to do Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, and it didn't, it what became a lot less fun, and it wasn't conducive to keeping a regular schedule.
Yeah. Yeah. Also practicing law. Yeah. Right. And having a family and all of it. Yeah. So, were you okay? Yeah, that's interesting because I feel like you obviously weren't repurposing content then, right? You were trying to, yeah, shoot videos specifically exclusively for these varying platforms. What about YouTube? Are you putting videos on YouTube?
I put some on YouTube, but then again, those were just repurposed, TikTok videos on YouTube, and they just didn't do as well.
Yeah.
And so, I don't have, I mean, YouTube especially, I feel like you have to have someone devoted to editing, and I just don't
Right.
have that. And I don't have the time to support my own YouTube page.
Right. As you continue to grow, which is what I see for you, do you plan on maybe getting some help in the future? Or do you plan on keeping it all with you? What's the growth plan for that?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably like to get some help, especially when it comes to like the editing and things like that. But I'm kind of particular, and I've been doing it so long,
Yeah.
there's giving up some of that control that is always holding me back a little bit.
I get that. I get that. Kalina, thank you so much for sharing your experience. You were super generous. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, everyone be sure to join us for the next episode of the Grow with Cara show happening very soon. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye. Awesome, Kalina. Thank you. That was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so I'll make sure that I'll get you the episode. I'll make sure you know when it airs. And you'll definitely see it around. We promote it pretty heavily, and then we also promote the replay, and we'll put it on our kind of master library page as well. So I'll get you all the links, and I really appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep, have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Lots of good stuff from Calina today, right? Here are the key takeaways I see. Number one, on social, sharing your personal life increases engagement. We've heard this many times. You've seen it with your own eyes. Your followers want to get to know the you outside the office as well as the you inside the office, the practitioner. So let them in on your life outside of law. Share your hobbies, family, friends, whatever you're comfortable with. Give them a look at your weekend, maybe your evening activities. Calina began with her family life. Number two, social promotion is time-consuming but free. Calina spends 20 hours a week on social media but spends $0 on it. She could alter that mix by hiring a freelance video editor, for instance, if she wanted to give up some control over the final appearance of her videos. Number three, focus on one platform. Maybe try several, but then select one to emphasize. It is a lot of work to appear on multiple social platforms, even when you repurpose your videos. If you have someone to edit, caption, post for you, your time increase will be minimal, but your costs will rise, of course. Number four, paid consultations are obtainable. I have interviewed several attorneys who are booking paid consults directly from their social bio pages. Half had large to very large followings, but the others had average size followings. Their specialties were estates, business, and family. I have also seen immigration attorneys with sizable followings. I'm sure you have too. They charge for their initial consultations. And lastly, number five, you no longer need to meet prospects in person. The world has changed post-COVID, and most people now prefer to meet virtually instead of live. You might, I know I do. The time and hassle savings, their material, add digital calendaring, and the process becomes simple, fast, and do it yourself for your prospects. I hope my interview with Calina has been instructive. It was a fun one. Can't wait to see you for the next episode of the Grow with Cara show happening very soon. Keep marketing. Take care. Bye-bye.